Hi, Elle here, and I'm on my chofa. That's what we call this wonderful piece of furniture that we got when we moved here to this new condo. And I want to focus on something that I think is kind of interesting. About a week ago, I was online on Zoom with a couple of new friends, a couple of gentlemen who are working on speeches, and we were all working on speeches together and sharing our kind of the beginning of our speeches. So this is relatively new friends, and when I got done my little section of sharing my speech, one of them said, "This is not what I thought it would be," and I was really curious about that. I said, "Well, what did you think that I was going to be talking about?" And he thought it was going to be kind of a typical. Oh, you need to meditate, you need to take time off, you need to go for a walk. And that is not what pressure free is all about. Those are really great things to do. They can provide you with a rest if a rest is needed. They can provide you with a reset. And I use some of those as what I call recovery tools for when you do trigger the fight or flight stress response. But my method, this pressure-free method, gets to the very heart of our stressed out selves and why we are that way. So sharing this opening to this speech that I'm writing, this guy was just like, he was so amazed at it. He booked a call with me. He's going to hire me. I work with his team next Monday, his sales team and his office team. He just caught the pressure-free bug. So a lot of people will say to me things like, I wish I knew about this years ago. I wish I'd done this sooner. I wish they taught us this in middle school. I've heard that a few times from people, from high schoolers who will tell me, why didn't they teach us this in middle school? So this unique method is not what you expect, which is why I always invite you to come on a private call with me. Let's really dig deep so you can see what this method really is capable of doing for you. I would have never imagined that using this method that I created on myself would have changed so much for me. I wish I had created it sooner, but I didn't, and I cut myself a break for that. But it's really neat to see people who at first are really skeptical. So if you're skeptical, in fact, I see people like coming on and going off. If you're skeptical that you could even begin to handle your anxiety a different way, handle your stressors in a different way, if you have a lot of skepticism about that, I encourage you to reach out and let's have a conversation. Let's see if I can clarify some things for you so that you can understand just how profound this method is. And in fact, I really love my skeptical clients. I remember one woman walking in, she was an executive, and she said, "I have so much stress and I don't think there's any way I can get rid of it." And so it's kind of like a challenge, right? I love a challenge. And her entire situation completely turned around by using the tools. And the other thing that's interesting is some of my clients think, oh, if I start doing this, am I going to be a chofa, a couch potato, like just hang out on the couch and be kind of a type B? Because most of my clients are really high achievers. They want to be able to do more. And I'm very happy to say, no, that's not what happens. You're going to have more energy. You're going to sleep better and need less time to sleep. You're going to have more time in your day because you're going to become so much more productive and efficient. A lot of the times when we're in the stress cycle, we're very inefficient. It's a kind of a catch-22 because you feel very powerful on adrenaline. If you're triggering a lot of adrenaline, it feels powerful. However, you've really significantly downpowered your ability to make good decisions, your ability to have willpower, a lot of the functionality of your cognitive brain. You need that in order to be really efficient. So my clients, they add hours to their day. I added about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day in my life using this method, getting out of all the negative stress things I love to like point out to my clients and also to myself, like I was just like, this is you on stress hormones. This is you not on stress hormones or pressure free. There's a huge difference. And until you actually feel it, because you've been in the stress response your entire life, very few people have ever broken it. I help you break it. So then you start to experience what I call your real self. I remember I had a 17-year-old client and she said to me, thank you so much for helping me find the real me, not the stressed out me that she'd been living with really her whole life. And I was too, and you might be too. Even though I thought I was pretty calm, I was still under the influence of these stress hormones. And that was the thing that changed for me. So, just a little, just going behind the scenes a little bit today, because I was so, it's been on my mind what that guy said, like, this is not what I thought it would be. It was, what I teach is very, very different than what a lot of people teach about stress, anxiety, etc. And I love to tell my clients too, we're working present to future. We can touch on some things in the past, but we're really going to be moving into the future for you. So, I hope that is a little food for thought, and that you come on in and have a private conversation with me at speakwithelle.com. If you know of any groups that are looking for virtual speakers, I'm doing virtual trainings all around the country right now. Got a couple booked for next week. Would be really happy to connect to one of your groups. It can be a group of friends. It can be a group that you belong to and you're meeting on Zoom and you're looking for a speaker. And I'm doing paid and free virtual trainings right now. So I would be happy to share some of this wisdom with you, share the pressure-free method with your friends, your colleagues, your work teams. There's a lot of stress today, and it's very compounded in this current situation. I do work with youth as well. So I've coached, actually, school hired me to coach first and second graders last year. That was a trip. Usually my clients are middle school and above, but I have coached a few 10-year-olds. They tend to be very gifted academicians or performers in the arts or athletes. A couple 10-year-old athletes that I worked with, which was just fantastic. So typically my clients are high school and above, but I have a sweet spot for helping any student who may feel a little stuck. If you have a high schooler that might be smoking a little too much weed these days and they start to feel like their brain is broken, I would love to have a conversation with you, because a lot of my clients, adult and teens, who kind of think that weed is okay, are realizing that it's not okay, and that it can lead to some pretty serious psychosis and some just problems in regular cognitive functioning. So how can you feel better without having to turn to a substance of any kind? That's what Pressure Free can do for you. When you don't trigger those stress hormones, you're not going to feel the need to self-medicate. So I hope that's helpful. I see some friends on. I see 2 Daves, which is cool. Amy, Janine, thank you so much. And someone gave me a little bit of love there. I appreciate that. Come on here every day for you, and just want to kind of brighten your day and just give a little wisdom. And today the thing is that pressure free is probably not what you think it is. I've given you a little taste on here, but until you actually have a real session and go deep into it and see what's possible for you, I mean, I can't even, I'm working with a few new clients right now, and one of them she just keeps texting me. She can't believe what's happening in her life. It's super cool. It's super fun, and it might not be exactly what you think it is. So come check it out. Have a great pressure-free day. Bye.